It is January the 16th, 2016. I'm Dana Durnford, also known as the Nuclear Proctologist.org, and you can find my Fukushima presentations at livestreaming.com. Type in Dana Durnford and you'll see that picture. Hopefully. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hi, everybody. Let me get rid of that second stream that's going out. So we got the chat room and Adobe. Shanikin, RWP, Tyrian. Hi, everybody. And the chat room is always late. I think the chat room and me start at the same time, but it has to go out to you guys and then come back to me before I hear it on my head or my speakers, and then we start that live stream. And so we're gonna get a continuation tonight of the last live stream, if anybody's not familiar with it. This is where we left off a couple nights ago. This was Fisheries and Oceans 2013. Look at that pretty little bruiser right there. So 137 is a tracer, and all the other radioactive elements have to be there also. And they don't bother talking about that part, right? That's too inconvenient for everybody. So that was the last headline we left off on. 129, right. Let me reposition my big fat head somewhere where it's not as big or as fat. Don't mind me, I'm just making fun of myself. Let me clean myself up a little tiny bit. Yeah, Dana, there's a start. Clean yourself up, Dana. I'm talking to the new nuclear PR firms. Anybody's not familiar why I have those connotations sometimes. There we go. I'm still trying to work on it. Give me a minute. It's friggin' stupid amount of work. But anyway, I done 129. We'll just tap on that. I am Thirst. Jenny, Alex, Jan Brooks, Miss Milky the Clown 1, folks. Real life celebrity right there, folks. This person never stops. Jan never stops. Jan doesn't sleep. She doesn't eat. She doesn't breathe. She gets it all from 2 showers a day. Her whole substance is 2 showers a day, and she could go 24 hours. She's like an energy bunny, like that little rabbit you used to see. Ding, 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 ding. Jumping around. Always in a good mood. Always happy. Always doing shit. Okay, I'm kind of gotta. Jan's like, Dana, don't make me into a fable. I can't hold up to that one. No, unfortunately, I know people find that hard to believe that, but she really doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep. She's been at this for 300 years, like myself and many other people. Radiological wrist. Hey, growing radiological wrist. 15.7 million years. That's 15.7 to you. Don't speak Newfoundlandese. Yeah, I don't think everybody speaks that language. Most people should, though. Makes more sense than that gibberish called English. Traveling along with iodine 131. Now there was, why is that important? Because we know there was 20 million in a liter of rainwater over North America, including Canada, by Simon Fraser University. April, I think it was, they released that data. And then they zipper it up after that one, tell you what. But that is out there, right? And so 20 million atomic decays. That's 20 million cancers if you're distributing it out. In a liter of rainwater. Does rain fall by the liter? Does it turn to fairy dust tomorrow? Well, no, because there was 31 times more iodine 129 with it. Plus everything else under the sun. You can't even imagine how wicked. Hi, Kate. How wicked these people are. Hi, Adam. Frank. I got them because Jan said hi to him. Hi, Elaine, which is Shanikin, folks. Anybody's not familiar. Fukushima's not under control. It has alarm bells going off on the west coast. Now, I know the headline for tonight's video is, hello, eating Fukushima or eating anything out of the Pacific Ocean is a death sentence. Like, if you want to go ahead and eat it, that's up to you. But don't make your child eat it. Don't make your friends eat it. Don't suggest they eat it. Don't get a job telling people to eat it, like you, Vic, and Woods Hole. But if you feed that to your child, that's child abuse. If you feed that to your child and the child gets cancer, you got no one to blame on you, Vic, and Woods Hole. And yourself. I couldn't resist that one. It's a private joke. For anybody who hasn't been following this. I'll tell you about it later. Former official, I'm humiliated. Japan lied to the world about how much contamination is entering the Pacific. I guess humiliated is a pretty good word. It's okay to jump on that sword. You go right for it, but we'll put a poster up on my wall. I'll put a wall there for you with your poster on it if you do that for us. Nuclear material is polluting ocean. Polluting with polonium, plutonium, americium, plutonium, and uranium. But the reactors run on uranium, plutonium, but they create all these other isotopes. They're man-made. They're man-made. Nothing on the planet has ever encountered it before. And they're dangerous. That's why we have terrorist laws. That's why we have nuclear security, but billions for each place. Forever. We got to have security there for the next couple of million years. There's some good free carbon there. And think about Fukushima. Just in the Fukushima prefecture was 9 million one-ton bags. Oh no, it's carbon free, Dana. And those bags, like Elaine said last time, are not going to last very long, are they? Fukushima spillage. Yeah, there's a new word. Spillage. I didn't like it. I like hemorrhaging. Fukushima's constant, endless, perpetual hemorrhaging machine spillage affects the life of the world ocean. The world. The whole world. You've probably never seen the world before. You probably think it's flat. You're probably one of those flat people. Or you want to... Let me move back. Or sideways. Or somewhere besides right where I'm toe. And let's talk about the world. Yes, the world. Yeah. So this is a couple of tracers, iodine and cesium. This is NOAA. It's based upon 40 days releases. We're not halfway into that 40 days. We're like 10 days into the release. It's all over North America, yeah. But just remember that this release is not based upon the 3 melter reactors. They're based upon venting from number 2. They didn't include the fuel pools, which are many reactors, many. All the reactors that they use every 18 months or so go up onto the roof into the fuel pool. And the roof's not there no more. And the fuel pool is not there no more. And no, they didn't take it out. Earthquake and a tsunami took it out. So now you're looking at 40 days. Boom. I'm going to stop it right there. Now, just because it only went 40 days, do you think it just like, okay, it's all gone, all good, everybody come out of their bunkers? Because the model is only based upon a single release from a single reactor for just a couple of days. It's not based upon the perpetual motion machine that is in motion down there right now. Remember, Chernobyl only lasted 10 days. Chernobyl was 1/3 the size of any of the reactors. Chernobyl was a 30% meltdown. Chernobyl, after 10 days, was equal to 400 Hiroshima bombs, but it turned into an elephant foot. Fukushima never stopped. Fukushima, 4 full meltdowns. We've never even seen a full one on the planet. This thing is unbelievable. Chernobyl, once again, was 1/3 the size and a 30% meltdown. It was graphite. Fukushima, they're using MOX fuel. Fukushima, you get a free home if you're pregnant. Chernobyl, which was a candlestick, is still abandoned. Chernobyl, 1 million dead. Fukushima, they say nobody died. But we got over 300 police officers died. There's 4,800 workers now known to be dead. Good old-fashioned gamma ray and X-rays. Hang on. I gotta get it because it doesn't. Not supposed to ring. Hey, buddy. Live streaming. How you doing? You got Jason's flu? Okay. Terry says hi, everybody. In case everybody was wondering what's going on there. So you're not feeling good? Okay, well, let me know. Yeah, I don't want Jason's flu. Okay, buddy. We're live streaming, so I'm going to take off. Good stuff, Terry. Yeah, okay, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Terry got a real bad flu. Put Jason in the hospital a few days ago. I'm just going to stay away. Don't want none of that stuff. Okay, back on the game, Dana. Get on the game. Dana. Where you to, Dana? Okay, here we go. Kate says hi, Terry. Shani Ken. Hi, Terry. Everybody. Nobody can confirm or deny their locations? No, that's right, officially. I can confirm it. It's all over North America. I just showed you the model. Fukushima spillage. Growing concern over worker shortage at Fukushima Reactors by government and TEPCO. Now, I get the clip there somewhere. I can probably find it if I tried really hard. Entertain me for one moment, please. Let me see if I'm good enough. No, me no good enough. I don't recognize the clip. Oh, so. Let me see how this one plays out. Yeah, no, that's not it. Hang on one second. It's probably not there. Yeah, it's not there. That's too bad. I'll just double check. Here's Jacqueline Yates. She's from MIT, I think it was. She was an expert. Let's try that for just out of curiosity. She's going to tell you that... I'll turn the volume up really loud. So don't be surprised if it all goes to shit, okay? Okay, the volume's already really loud. So it's not going to be perfect, but she's going to tell you that all the radiation dose calculations are based up on a single 1 minute exposure. I can show you Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. He can tell you a few things too, and I will in a little tiny bit. Here we go, let's play that.
Possibly on the phone, although I don't see a phone, Jackie Yanch, who's in Spain. Jackie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. Until last year, Jackie was a professor in the Department of Nuclear Science and Engineering. She continues to be affiliated with us, and she's a specialist on radiation health effects.
I'm here. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the question.
The question had to do with what are the prospects for long-term contamination in the area around the reactor. I think that was the question.
In terms of the amount of release or the consequences of a release? I mean, there's been very little that seems to have been released and dispersed beyond the containment. Now, unfortunately, we have very little data, almost no data about how much radiation we can live with in terms of elevated background levels. All of our data come about the health effects of radiation come from a situation in which all the doses delivered in less than a minute. And
less than a minute. Okay, so she says there's no data. Meet Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. Mass puppy murderer. Now, Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute, he killed beagle dogs and beagle puppies for 35 years. So I don't know what MIT is talking about, but they're not being forthright or honest, are they? These models, 1989, shows that it kills the dogs. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy's study in 96, 144 beagle dogs, and they inhaled one particle, one of two different sizes. Now, but that's just one study out of 94 studies. But you got to remember, there's many Dr. Raymond Gilmedys out there. But what the study showed was that all the dogs died of cancer. 93 after 3 years, well, 1.5 to 5.4 years before they died. Tumors of the lung, skeleton, livers occurred. Read the last sentence at the very bottom. These findings in dogs suggest a dose-related biological effect could be expected in humans. So why was MIT lying on March the 16th in 2011? That's when that clip I showed you. Because the models are well known. And their job, and like he said, she's a partner with MIT at that time, and then he never corrected her. He said, no, there's people like Dr. Raymond Gilman all over the place, bitch. What are you lying to everybody for? He said, no, yeah. Thank you, Jacqueline. Right? That's why your university is so twisted. That's why you can't trust them. You can't do anything with them. You can't go near these people. They're running out of homeless. I mean, they put up bulletins, send us people who don't mind dying. Ed Terry got the flu. Elaine, yeah, you bet. Bad one too. I don't want it. U.S. bans agriculture and fishery products from 14 prefectures in Japan. Had his ball joint come off his car when he's dropping his woman off at work 2 days ago. Could have got killed. In Japan, 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Tough stuff, I tell you. Top newspaper concern over contamination is spreading to most countries around the Pacific. Well, the ocean currents are real, yeah? I know that's a real novel kind of, it's a novel idea, but those ocean currents are real. And in 45 days, a single release looks like that, because that's what that model is. That's based upon a single release, but that's based upon 6 years. But the model was only a couple of days releases from a single reactor from venting. They'd never mentioned at that time anything about melted reactors. We know number 2 is all gone now. And the model only includes 2 tracers. It doesn't include the 2,000 isotopes we're worried about, or the 10,000 classified ones that we're worried about too. And that in Japan they were using mixed oxide fuel, which is where they reclaim plutonium and uranium from missiles that had already went through a chain reaction, were already unstable, were already 2 million times worse than in their original worst refinement state before they went through a chain reaction. So when you put something through a chain reaction, it's 2 million times worse. So if you put it through again, it's 2 million times again. Why are we doing this to the children around the world? 27,000 children starve to death every day. That is unbelievable. See? That's, Bill Gates is out there trying to cure 600 a year from getting polio. Meanwhile, there's 27,000 starving to death every day. That it could be cured because they're just dysentery, diarrhea, and pneumonia can be cured with salts. 27,000. I made a video a while back, we should give them all cell phones, but then every day there'd be 27,000 cell phones in a stack, ringing because the kids were gone. Not that they had anybody looking for them. But Fukushima is worse than that. It takes a while for it to show up, but it's already killed the Pacific Ocean. It already killed the coastal marine life, the animals, the birds, the insects, the spiders. It already wiped out the ice pack in British Columbia's mountains. That's been there. It takes 1,000 years for that stuff to return. That's why all the lakes and rivers and estuaries, the trout and the salmon all failed. They couldn't get back up the river because there was no water coming down. And there was no water, cold water, like it is for millenniums to regulate the temperatures of the lakes, the rivers, the estuaries. Anything left in the ocean, because like anybody that's not familiar, we've done 260 days on the ocean. I'll just cover that very quick so people can kind of wrap their mind around it. We've done 260 days, 15,000 miles. The arrows are just representations of areas that we covered extensively, and those pictures are up at nuclearproctologist.org. So these pictures are pre-Fukushima. That's post-Fukushima. Post-Fukushima, pre-Fukushima. There's a quick boo with that because you really, really truly got to understand this is we are in desperate times. We are in a struggle for life. Pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. Pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. Post-Fukushima there, right? Pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. These are pictures. I took these pictures. The post-Fukushima. They're all from the same spot, Louise Narrows and the Haida. This is one of the few birds I saw, the eagle, in Louise Narrows, and there's nothing there for him to eat. There is nothing on that beach. That's the Zodiac, the little Zodiac. And there's nothing there. That's a super low tide. It's a 0.9 inch tide. It was a super moon, right? That was earlier this year. We done 260 days on the coastline. Instead of the shoreline being scary, it's friggin' naked. Instead of being healthy and gorgeous and full of life everywhere you went, it's lethargic. It's completely dead, covered in slime at best, and not no rich slime or nothing. But when you think about, there used to be 85 of these, 75 of them to 85 per square meter. There'd be 500 of them per square meter. And now there's nothing per square meter. Nothing per square meter. Nothing per square meter. Instead of a rich, healthy, unimaginable, incredible environment, is nothing. Zero. Instead of being rich everywhere you go, and you got to be careful wherever you tread, there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to take a picture of. There's nothing moving. There's nothing crawling. There's nothing reproducing. There's nothing clinging there. Right? That's pre-Fukushima. That's same spots. Right? Look at it. It's just gone. No longer the jewel of the country. Now it's banished to whispers. Nobody wants to talk about it. This is an extinction event because 4 million other species didn't recede the coastline. 4 million species did not recede that coastline. You can never get that back. FDA, U.S. bans agricultural and fishery products from 14 prefectures in Japan. Let me see if I can find that. Hi, everybody. Let me see if I can find that. I got too much shit on my computer today. Let me see how this works out. Yeah, I'm not going to follow it. Probably not going to find it. Hang on a second, though, because if I can find that, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, no. Oh, well. What it is those 14 prefectures, if you go look up the story anyway, and you start hunting down the story, you'll find out there was other countries that had similar bans in different prefectures also. And so everything south of Tokyo, for instance, all of these prefectures, including around Tokyo, were banned from other countries by 2013 for extended periods. And then all the countries said, you know what? We're just going to poison everybody. We don't care. And now the EU is going to let Fukushima food into the EU countries. It's the stupidest thing imaginable. It's murder. That's murder. And so what they're trying to do is accelerate the die-offs so there won't be too much resistance, so they can try and keep their power structure alive for a little bit longer. Stuttering as we go through here now. We have one more little boot. Yeah, I got too much crap on my computer. Who knows what I got, man? I got too much. I just want to find that because that would be cool. No, didn't work. Okay, we'll give it up. Give it up anytime you're ready, Dana. Just click on something, Dana. Make it all go away. There we go. Hi to everybody. Let's keep moving, shifting, shaking and a grooving, ruling and a ruling. Hi CJ, M. Tours, Frank, Alex, Jan. Purple Jim, that's me. Mr. Guess. Atom. Shanikan. Make me all stabby like Alex or Atom. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep going, keep moving. Half an hour into it. So there's no product left on the coastline. Still looking fantastic, and I'm incredible. These are the same spots, right? We've done that whole coastline, 15,000 miles of it. 15,000 miles of it. And a little dinky. And I couldn't have been more proud, more happy that we had done that, and it's finally done. And that we were producing a documentary. Got arrested for doing this so they can slow down the documentary, but that kind of blew back up in their face. I'm gonna have a cigarette. It doesn't have 7,000 chemicals, so shut your pie hole if you don't like it. Oh, Dana's abusing the people on his website. I can see the headlines out there now. Don't forget to chop out everything else that says you wicked little demons. Keep going. Oh, to be normal. U.S. bans agriculture. But if you go looking it up anyway, and you take each one of the prefectures, right, it's everything south of Tokyo. They're going to ship it all over to EU countries now. We got to have a war crimes tribunal to deal with all these people. There's enough there to employ a couple of million people. There's so many evil things going on here. Radioactive forests, a permanent risk, must be cut down. Every gust of wind, showers. I know we covered that headline last time, but I put it in there twice, I remember. So I'm going to do it twice. Every gust of wind. So if you decontaminate your town, as if that could be done, because it permeates into everything. Surge in radioactive cesium levels. Oh yeah, we covered that one. Causes incinerators near Tokyo to shut down. I got a whole bunch on incinerators we're not going to get to again. Almost half of the Japanese women tested had iodine 131. Well, they would have had 10 times more 132, 30 times more iodine 133, 31 times more iodine 129 with a 50 million year half-life. So it aggregates in women's breasts, and the ionizing radiates the milk that they're feeding their children. So it does that with mammals and animals too, right? So it's an insidious. Nuclear is just insidious in every sense of the word. It's wicked in every sense of the word. There's nothing good about nuclear. Zero. Hundreds ill after Fukushima nuclear plant rubble burned in major Japanese city. Nosebleeds, eyes, throat, skin. Government, radiation levels were low enough to be safe. String them up. It's legal it's legal to hang them in Japan. Don't have a seizure. Don't defecate over yourselves because Dana said hang them. Well, the Globe and Mail accused me of death threats. The biggest media in Canada. But I'm charged with criminal harassments and nuclear pukes that don't got a leg to stand on. I'm not going to be withdrawing my comments for anybody. But they're burning it, not just in Tokyo. Now we got to get rid of Tokyo. They're burning it all over Japan. They're taking the radioactive stuff that they say they're decontaminating, cleaning it up, bringing it somewhere else and burning it in incinerators. You can't get rid of radiation even at 8,000 Fahrenheit temperatures. You can't kill it. We don't know how to get rid of it. That's why we have terrorist laws. That's why we have nuclear holding sites. That's why there's no such thing as a nuclear waste site. We don't know how to control it. It shouldn't be on the planet. These people shouldn't be on the planet, and get me on way they won't be. Genetic passports. You pass it on to your children. It destroys your DNA, the chromosomes. It mutates your stem cells in your pelvis. It has deformed genes. Twins attached by organs growing outside their bodies. One-eyed cyclops. Babies with joints, heads. They respond to people around them. Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to love them? Who's going to cherish them? Who's going to raise them? Who can afford to do that? The nuclear industry is carbon free. Too cheap to me there. You want to smack them in the mouth every time you hear it. Every time I hear it now, I want to smack one of them in the mouth. High temperature incinerator. I'm allowed to say that as a Canadian. It's a political hyperbole. I'm not going to change the way I talk because a handful of freaks, of traitors, of seditionists in our country are prosecuting me. I'm not going to change my narrative or the way I talk for people like that or anyone else. Otherwise, the terrorists, these are terrorists, the terrorists win. Woods Hole is terrorists. The University of Victoria is terrorists. The police department in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and Saanich, a private police department, are terrorists. These are terrorists. These are carrying out terrorist operations against our loved ones and our friends and our families. These are terrorists. Every sense of the word. For real, these are terrorists. They lied to you. They manipulated you. They deceived you. They talked you into not worrying about being in a danger. They talked you into eating the food that was contaminated. They done it on purpose. They done it as a conspiracy. They had me arrested as a conspiracy to smear me. That backfired on them. High temperature incinerators. Buildings on site at Fukushima across from the incinerating workshops. Fukushima plant will burn radioactive waste. This is a fucking terrorist. Oh, we're worried about getting a terrorist getting a gram and making an impoverished device, but it's okay for these fucking idiots to burn it in the incinerators. Do you know how long it takes to come over here? Do you know what they're burning, how much of it? Do you understand how wrong this is? How twisted this is? How demented these fucking people are? How vile and despicable and disgusting and low that these people really are. Still not as bad as Ian Gerder, though, or James Colbert. Japan burning Fukushima debris 10 miles from the Daiichi. That's in the Daini. Where they had 4 meltdown. 88% of cesium and radioactive ash might be at risk of being transported away from Japan landfill. Of course it's going to get... every time it rains, it snows, and convection and evaporation. Even dew in the morning, you know. Reports from Japan, radioactive fallout from Fukushima incinerating plants being hidden. It's odd. No, it's not odd at all. Anybody got an incinerator in the community? You all do. Would anyone of you buy a house next to one? No. Would any of you be happy if you bought one and then all of a sudden they were fucking burning man-made radioactive materials and telling you, we don't want the terrorists to get hold of it, so we're going to burn it. Release it into your community because we don't want the terrorists to get it and release it into your communities, into your ocean, into your environment, into your atmosphere, into your stratosphere, into your children's play areas, into your children's toys. Almost entire city of 300,000 people had radiation levels high enough to get decontaminated by government. You have to peel the skin off everybody. You have to peel the skin off everybody. Let's start with all the nuclear employees. Japan to burn drums of unprocessed radioactive waste from the accident They're going to burn the fuel rods. You're going to tell me that's not terrorism? You're going to tell me they're not terrorists? You're going to tell me that all the hoo-ha that the terrorists are going to get their hands on a couple of grams is any comparison to these fucking things? These fucking traitors. These cowards. These cowards. These cowards. These are cowards. These are the lowest form of life. You can't get any lower than these people. You couldn't even try. There's no way to get lower than that. There is nothing you can do that is lower, unbecoming, unremorseless. 300 times more radiation being released into the atmosphere from burning debris than claimed by the government. They're burning millions of tons. It's a nuclear accident all day just from that going off. We're not even talking about the reactors. We're talking about what they're up to. Is the government trying to contaminate every region of Japan by burning radioactive debris? And if everyone is contaminated, then in a relative sense, everyone is contaminated. They found plutonium in every sample. Every sample. Every sample. But there's people out there in the nuclear PR firms that are sitting there listening to everything I'm saying, jerking off to pictures of UVic and Woods Hole people, and they're waiting for me to say something that they can chop out and sell it to be used to smear me later. They're looking for me to make a mistake because they know everything I'm saying is true, but they're waiting for me to make a simple mistake so they can chop it out. There's probably 100 of them out there all over the world working for nuclear PR firms, and that's their job, is to hunt, is the predatory hunters of people like me. They haven't got much opposition, so they focus in on the people that's getting an attraction. And that's what they're doing to me. They know everything I'm saying is true, but they want to find a little mistake so they can clip them together and then try to make me look silly or stupid or something. And they're doing that for a paycheck. They don't tell their loved ones what they're doing. They don't tell their friends and families what they're up to. They don't tell their confidants. They don't tell anybody what they're really doing. But they go to work with each other and they laugh their asses off over how many children they gave cancer. These are nuclear PR firms. There's a couple of thousand of them out there. Their job is to smear people like me. Their job is to come up with campaigns to wreck people like me. Their job is to attack everybody in my family. Their job is to attack everybody that I covet or I love. So that you can understand the truth. Oh, he smokes cigarettes. You can't listen to Diddy. He smokes a cigarette. I don't have 7,000 chemicals in my cigarette. Do you and your friends and your loved ones? And your kids, yeah? Nothing wrong with tobacco. There's a whole lot wrong with 7,000 chemicals in them, though. Who woke up one morning and said, hey, I got it, 7,000 chemicals in the tobacco. Well, how could we fuck them over any worse than that? 100 becquerels a kilogram of cesium is nuclear waste before Fukushima. After, safe to eat. So whoever made that decision, you got to find out who that was. Right? Change the laws and get them hung. Change the laws, get them, throw them in jail. Preferably, change the laws, get them hung. As a deterrent to all the pieces of shit out there that are saying it's like a banana and a potato chip and walking in the sunshine. And we got thousands of videos of people doing that for the nuclear PR firms. To confuse you, to deceive you, to manipulate you and your friends and your families and your loved ones so you can't even have a conversation. So you can't even talk to each other. So you can't even listen to people like me. I asked the government to kill me. It's better to be dead than alive these days. Fukushima will start burning radioactive waste, 100,000 becquerels a kilogram, to be incinerated, liberated into your communities, into your oceans, into your rivers and lakes and estuaries and streams and mountains, into your communities and your schools. And that comes right across the ocean in 3 or 4 days. Trans-Pacific. Pollution comes over, forest fires comes over. That's way bigger pollution than this stuff. This stuff is 1/10,000th of a millionth of a meter. Divide a meter into a million. Divide that by 10,000 and take one of them. And die of cancer later. There's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up before the cancer. Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary, heart, kidney, ovary, breast cancers. Some cancers will show up. They got 1 billion pounds. 1 billion pounds. They're going to kill you. Sure as shit, man. These people are going to kill you. No one will hold them accountable. I don't have the ability to hold them accountable. I don't have the power, right? I'm just an impoverished. I wouldn't say that, I suppose, but I'm just one person. And all I can do is come out and tell the truth, and hopefully some people will flip over to the right side. I don't know if I'll ever trust anybody from the nuclear industry, ever, under any circumstances. If I was fucking drowning and they threw me a rope, I wouldn't take it. You work for the nuclear? Yeah, fuck you, I'd rather drown. Massive radioactive waste buildup in Tokyo suburbs. Overcapacity. Disposal of quake debris begins in Tokyo to be burned in Koto. Radiation fears will continue for years, 1 billion pounds. The radiation filtered through the country still coming out of those reactors. Still going into the ocean, still going into the atmosphere. It'll do that till the very end of time. No one wants to recognize the fuel pools were on the roof. No one wants to recognize they're gone. No one wants to recognize the reactor cores. Everybody wants to live in a fucking fantasy land. Everybody thinks, la 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 la, I'll ignore it, it'll go away. You guys are crazies. It's not going to harm anybody. No, that's why we got all the terrorist laws. That's why we got all the nuclear waste sites, holding sites. That's why we have the Dr. Raymond Gilmedi killing big old dogs and big old puppies for 35 years, and all the tumors and all the cancers. 444 dogs, 93 of them. Most common cause of death, bone tumors. No, that's not real, Dina. Dina, you made it up, this Photoshop, Dina. Tokyo neighbor. Cesium approaching levels found in Fukushima. Chiba incinerator dust. The dust, what never floated away, was 70,000 becquerels a kilogram. Fuck, man. Just blowing it all through the communities. We don't care about you. We got a job. We get $16 an hour. We got free dental. Fuck you. Right? If that was happening here in Canada. I'm not going to go there. It wouldn't be pretty, trust me. I wouldn't be burning it in my fucking incinerators. I put an end to you right quick. High levels of radioactive materials found in Tokyo. 170,000 becquerels a kilogram in the slag. Tokyo. They made it all the way there, and everything in between it is contaminated beyond imagination. Beyond anything you can comprehend. They don't decontaminate it, they blend it, they mix it in with deeper soil. They don't fucking do nothing. 5,000 nuclear plant workers suffering internal radiation. Internal. These are dead people walking. Incinerating radioactive material can contaminate the environment. Gee. What? Really? Wow. You come up with that all on your own, did you? Huh? Did you? Well, you're so clever. Radiation is coming to the Tokyo. See, you got forced to resign, but I just showed you all the headlines. I just showed you the proof. But you're not allowed to tell the people. You're not allowed to tell the people the truth. So you gotta resign. We'll give you a big friggin' paycheck. Keep your mouth shut. You don't have to go starving on the side of the road and sell your story to some tabloid. Iodine 131, 10 times more 132, 30 times more 133, 31 times more iodine 129 with a 15 million year half-life. Press was watching as the government dumped the radioactive waste in Tokyo Bay. And if you read through that one, you find out they were doing that for like 2.5 years. or 2 years or whatever. As you follow through with it, you'll find out that you didn't stop doing it, is what I'm saying to you. Press watches as the government dumps it. Radioactive iodine found in Guma at 3 sewage plants. Possibility of a recriticality. It never stopped. It never stopped. Sharp rise in iodine 131 at the sewage plants. Everybody's pissing out the iodine. That only got an 8-day half-life. But there's 31 times more iodine 129 with a 15 million year half-life for every iodine 131. And for every cesium, you see 230,000 there. There was 100 times more strontium 90, so 2.3 million of strontium 90 in that same spot. On an athlete's field, where your children are going, 6 times as high as the limit set for radiation control areas in Tokyo. And so we lost the Pacific Ocean, like I showed you earlier. The 4 million other species didn't recede the coastline. How bad do you think Japan is going to be in another 2 or 3 years when all this diseases and autoimmune deficiencies manifest themselves? Cancer is the last one to show up. Everybody's out there shoving cancer down your throat. Oh, still no cancer. That's the game, right? Yeah, Dina, I don't see cancer showing up. I don't see anybody dying for cancer, Dina. Cancer's the last one to show up, buddy. Highly radioactive sewage. Gee, I wonder where that shit's coming from. No pun intended. Cesium levels up to 334,000 becquerels in your shit per kilogram. And there's 100 times more strontium 90. Excuse me. Almost 1 million becquerels more times. I'm sorry, almost 1 million times more radioactive fallout in the soil than there was in 2009. So there's 1 million times more there than it was when they had studied it in 2009. And that's a low estimate. Now we've seen 1 million per square meter here, becquerels, atomic decays per square meter for North America. I'm not going to go through those studies right now, but like a lot of things, it's better sometimes just to keep moving. Tokyo's 3rd highest cesium levels of all testing locations throughout Japan. Tokyo. Home to millions and millions and millions. Yeah, they lost Tokyo. They just didn't bother moving out of there. They were going to move the government out, right? 200,000 of them or something. 50,000 slaves. And of course their families and their friends and their loved ones and their cronies. Tokyo, oh Tokyo. Radiation precaution for areas near Seattle, Vancouver, Portland. Perhaps you need to wash your shoes. No, you need to throw them away. That's the reality, see? That's the vicious, unimaginable, bitter reality. 9 million bags, 4 little buildings. 4 little buildings. You want to see him? Do you? Really? That's Unit 1. He had a meltdown. That's Unit 2. He had a meltdown. That's Unit 3. Like Unit 1, he blew up and had a meltdown. This is Unit 4. Unit 4 does not look like that on the inside. Doesn't look like that on the inside. It looks like that on the roof. Right? You see the edge there where everything is blown out on that side? Where the crane is? Right, look at that roof section. Now, how could you get it to look like that on the inside? Why is mainstream media showing you that? Why did Seth Dorn from CBS come out and say he was in there? In Unit 4. When we know what Unit 4 looked like after the detonations, it looked like that. So how the frig could you have that and then say it's like that? Because these are the worst sacks of shit the planet has ever known. That your media is the worst thing imaginable. Well, unless you compare it to that guy. The media doesn't even do that. Media is not even doing that. They're not even looking. They're not looking. They don't care. They're too busy painting you that picture. And they're too busy making people like me telling you the truth, saying that I'm actually like that. Think about Chernobyl. Chernobyl, 600 of these helicopter pilots died. It was 1/3 the size. It was a 30% meltdown. It stopped after 10 days. It was equal to 400 Hiroshima bombs. 400. The Guardian, right? The third sentence down. I'm not sure if you can see that. I can make it bigger. Third sentence down. And for the next 10 days, spewed the equivalent of 400 Hiroshima bombs. 400? Now, but Chernobyl, I got that screwed up. Hang on. Chernobyl, they sprayed regions to aggregate with the radiation, knock it back down. They're still doing that. We call it chemtrails, but that's what it is, right? Another version of chemtrails. It was no such thing as chemtrails, Dina. Freaking conspiracy theorists. Really? They done that over Vietnam for 9 years with Agent Orange. What the fuck do you call that? Huh? So on April the 6th and 7th, the forecast showed radioactive fallout right over North America, all the way to Newfoundland, Boston, California, right across the entire continent. See? CC-137 plume forecast, that was France's. I can cover some of that if you want. You like that kind of stuff, do you? You want more? Didn't he give you more? Yummy, more forecast. There's some models to think about. Anytime you're ready, Dana. People can't see it if you don't put it up there, Dana. Okay, I'm trying, man. How about this one? Australian forecast. How about this one? This was by the Norwegian Institute for Air Research. We just showed you that one, I think. This one was by the Uranyl project, the Rhines Institute, University of Cologne. The radioactive fallout by France. Radioactive fallout by Norwegian again. Radioactive fallout studied by the Hiroshima University. No, Dean is not real, Dean. He's making it all up. And iodine 133 was 30 times more than 131 in the ratio of creation. 129. Okay, we covered all of that. Okay, let's cover some more stuff. Well, let's call it a night, I suppose. We'll call it a night. Let me get something in the background. We'll get rid of that. Let's play it in the background anyway. We'll back the trolley up a little tiny bit. Back that trolley up. We're going to come over and say goodnight to everybody. Hugs for everybody. And what can I say outside of get myself back in the picture, Dana? Anytime you're ready, Dana. Oh, Dana, you got that done now, Dana. I got parallax on that too. I can't believe I've done that. Well, it's not supposed to be like that, but anyway, I'll jump that. Hi, everybody. Amateurs, Frank, Elaine, Jan, Mitchell, Pam, Candace. Yeah, Seth Dorn should be called out from CBS, absolutely. Yeah, boy Adam, Kate, Shani Ken, Oomph. I don't know who Oomph is, but hi Oomph. I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm not going to try to read anything. Just looking for names. Say hi. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Terry Ann was down there. I know. Alex is down there. I know. Lots of people will show up later. I know. Yeah, hugs for everybody. Pretty tired. Pretty burnt out. The model you're looking at behind me, it's only based upon a couple of days releases from a single reactor. It's not based upon the endless perpetual motion machine that it is. Not based upon spent fuel pools full of reactor cores that are just as deadly as the reactor core in a running reactor. There's no difference. And that Fukushima is worse than every oil spill combined. Is worse than every pollution, every piece of plastic ever released in the ocean combined. thousands and thousands and millions of times. Fukushima is an extinction event. Has already exterminated the Pacific Ocean. 4 million species are missing throughout our coastline. That's documented in 15,000 miles. You can find the documentation at the nuclearproctologist.org. And so hugs for everybody. We'll catch everybody next time. We got to go down. I got to be in court for Wednesday. And so the stalkers are waiting. They start stalking me. I need support. You can donate at PayPal if you can. It'll be huge. And you can donate by typing in Dana Durnford at hotmail.com. Or you can go to nuclearproctologist.org and donate with a credit card. And so we got to go down, get a hotel. It's going to take a couple of days. You got to get there a day early. And it's just that, I got to get into that mode. We got to raise the money to keep doing the things we're going to do and want to do and are capable of doing. And that we don't have the nuclear industry to give us $1 million here and $1 million there. We don't have any pension plans or anything else. We have Dana. And that I'm doing the best job I can. And that I'm happy to do that. I got no issues. I'll keep doing it. I'm just saying, I'm going to keep pushing to raise the money to get the Skype machine. And for expenditures for going to court, I'm going to have to cover that. I don't have the money to cover that. And that's why they smeared me the way they did to take that away from me. And that the money we did raise, I used it to buy the gear that we got right now because we couldn't get a lawyer. And that what else was I supposed to do? I wasn't going to waste it. And so the smart thing to do was get the equipment we needed. And I have no regrets whatsoever. And we're trying to raise enough now to get a $6,000 Skype machine and to cover our expenses coming up for the next couple of 3-court appearances. But they're going to throw this out. There's no way they're intending to make it into the courtroom. That's absolutely guaranteed. I've gone through everything they got there. I can't understand why they even submitted it. Outside they had a corrupt judge and a corrupt prosecutor and Constable Steve Crooks from the Sandwich Police Department. That guy is 100% corrupt. He told me he watched 500 hours of my footage. I said, yeah, and you found 2 sentences that you used erroneously to get me arrested. And that I'll be vindicated when I get my day in court. And I'm looking forward to that. And so, once again, you can donate at the Nuclear Proctologist with credit cards, legitimate, high-end site, high-end operation there. And the same thing at paypal.com. Type in Dana Durnford at hotmail.com. That's how you do it. And you can donate there. It's easy to set up. Hugs for everybody. And we'll be back as quick as we can. Like you say, I gotta probably leave Tuesday to head down there because the court's at 9 o'clock in the morning or something. And so you got to spend the night down there, blah, blah, blah. And this was about stopping me producing a documentary after 260 days on the ocean and 15,000 miles of the coastline. But that's not going to work. So we'll be back soon enough. Hugs for everybody. Take care, folks. Oh, missed me button.